Out to Jerome Spears and Juan Marshall, ProAmFightTalk.com, who's doing double duty, talking and filming us as well. So we'll talk more about that a little bit later on tonight, by the way. Nice card tonight. Started off with a lot of short ones tonight, but then later bouts, Jerome got into some real heavy competition. He saw some good outings along the way.
We did from top to bottom, and of course the opening cards. I mean, guys are still in the developmental stage, and you want to be able to incrementally work those guys up the ladder as they develop. And so I think there's a savvy boxing audience here in the DC area, and they know what they're going to get in terms of some of those earlier bouts. But then you started moving into the meat of the lineup, and we saw some pretty exciting fights.
No question about that. And Juan, you talk about we just saw Raymond Bubbles Jackson come by not too long ago. He was saying step up the competition, but again, tonight wasn't a bad situation, especially in our latter three bouts of the night.
Yeah, they started off real strong. Everybody getting first round knockouts, and then gradually we had one 5-round, and then Ty ended with a nice 7-round TKO. So it was a pretty good card tonight.
No question about it. Let's talk about the card in detail. We'll talk about Ty Barnett in a bout against a guy who Jerome had only been knocked out 4 times prior to this bout. Hadn't been knocked out in his last 9 fights on Robert Don't Lose to Lose. This is a guy who has fought the likes of Thomas Snow. He's fought Clarence Benson. You and I have seen him in some real tough bouts, and he was definitely a survivor tonight.
Yeah, he's a durable guy, a kind of guy that if you can get him the way he was gotten tonight, that says a lot because of what we've seen when we've had from this individual.
And of course, Jerome, you're talking about a guy who is now under the tutelage of one of our favorite boxers, Andrew Council, War Council, along with another one of our favorite boxers, Scott Buchanan. But you could definitely see the body shot influence of Andrew Council tonight.
No doubt about that. And I like some of the defensive postures and stances too. Yeah, you see a lot of Council in what we're seeing in this young man, Ty Barnett.
And Ty Barnett, again, guy you were saying, Juan, needed a knockout, needed a stoppage tonight, because a lot of his bouts, he's had some real tough time of late stopping guys, and this was a good one for him against a durable guy.
Yeah, like you said, Councilman working real good with Ty Barnett. He uses some of his veteran experience to work through Ty in tonight's fight. He did a very good job.
So Ty Barnett raises his record now to 22-1 with 13 KOs, and Robert Don't Lose to Lose falls in his career. He's had again a tough road to hoe. He takes a lot of fights on short notice, and tonight, for example, his record now falls to 13-41-3 with 9 KOs. Unlike this bout, though, this bout was taken on good time. Meanwhile, Dusty Harrison continues his winning ways. He is less than 9 days now from turning 18, where he can get a boxing license anywhere in the country. And tonight, he showed a step up in his career. Even as the guy as durable as Joey Mundo Ortega, I thought Dusty Harrison tonight may have put on his best performance so far today.
Yeah, his crisp, solid shots, and he was poised. I mean, a lot of times when you see a guy only go 2 rounds, you figure, maybe it was a bit of a lopsided situation, but you really had a lot of workman and strong performance on the part of Dusty Harrison tonight, and I think that's what carried the day in terms of him winning this fight.
And again, Joey Mundo Ortega won, another durable guy usually, and this is a guy who really took care of business here tonight. Dusty Harrison did against Joey Ortega.
Yes, this is a good fight that he needed, a veteran fighter, and this makes Dusty have a 50% record now. He has 6 wins with 3 knockouts, so he's going to be pretty busy this year, and it looks like he's up on the rise, and this future is really promising.
No question about it. Dusty Harrison was right back in action June 16th at the Burns Arena in Baltimore, so there'll be another Keystone boxing card there. Dusty Harrison now 6-0 with 3 KOs to his credit, and Joey Mundo Ortega falls in his pro career, and he is now 3-22 and with 1 KO. Also in the card tonight, Jerome, a long-awaited debut finally takes place, and Harold Sweetly Parker out of DC. This is a guy who, again, as we saw back in the Platinum Gloves, alongside the likes of Gary Russell Jr., alongside the likes of the Peterson brothers when they were young. Guys like Saddam Ali who went to the Olympics, the Allen twins. This is a guy who was the headline along those lines back in the Platinum Gloves in 2001 and 2002. Finally, he makes his pro debut. He makes it a good one with a 3rd-round TKO over Marcus Bates.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yes, indeed.
It seems like that long ago, but you're right. So yeah, pro debut, a very good performance, strong shots that he was able to land throughout the fight, and then a strong finish with that TKO knockout in the 3rd. So yeah, he's off to a roaring start.
He faced the guy Marcus Beswan, who was a pro debut in his own right, but yet it looked like there was a definite skill difference between Parker and Best, although Best did try.
Yes, even though Harold Parker had a little setback in 2002's last fight. He looked like he was just right, you know, a veteran fighter. You know, he came with the quickness. He looked like he never lost a step.
No question about it. If Parker wins in his pro debut, Marcus Best loses in his pro debut. Also on the card tonight, probably the toughest and most competitive bout of the night. Ronaldo Misunderstood Gaines out of District Heights, Maryland. You hate to say it was a scare because, again, he faced the guy in his pro debut and Gaines only had now 2 fights in his whole career. When you look at that situation and you see a guy, Ronaldo Gaines, who had a real tough one and had to survive against James Young.
Well, you know, there were some moments there where Young was able to do some stuff to kind of stay in the fight when you thought maybe this thing was going to start heading downhill real fast. A testament to his ability to want to stay in there and gut the fight out. But, you know, in terms of the other situation, you know, I look at what Ronaldo was able to do. He weathered a couple of storms in there, maybe caught some shots, showed that he was able to kind of come back from a little adversity himself. So a good test of him young in his career.
Yeah, Ronaldo Gaines has not fought a whole lot in his boxing career. His last fight back in March was only his first fight in a number of years, 4 years to be exact. And he comes back here against James Young, who came to fight. There's no question about it. We talk about and sometimes we kid the North Carolina fighters, but I mean, in all honesty, James Young put on a good show tonight against Ronaldo Gaines.
Yes, he did. He had a very impressive pro debut. He pushed everything he had with Ronaldo. Looked like he hurt him a few times. You know, hurt Ronaldo a few times in that round. He looked like he was a much stronger fighter than Ronaldo Gaines.
No question about it. Ronaldo Gaines now 2-0 in his career. James Young falls in his pro career. Also in the card tonight, another interesting bout. Ivan King Shango Ziegler coming back, and he won his bout 133 in the 5th against Eric Fast Hands Burke. But I tell you, Jerome, I think this bout was a lot tougher than people thought it was going to be going in.
It was, but I think that big left hook in the 3rd round kind of got things going in a direction that would be favorable to Ziegler, and then you know, the rest kind of took its course.
And Eric Fast Hands Burke, again, a guy is now 6-28, 3 KOs. But Ivan Ziegler, I think he's still work in progress, coming back and getting some things done in his career outside the boxing. And one, I think he's still a work in progress.
Yes, it is. It seems like he still needs some more, you know, finessing in his arsenal as far as boxing. But tonight he came through tonight.
Ivan Ziegler now 6-2-1 with 3 KOs to his credit. Also on the card today, Shadid Floyd, another guy people were looking for to make his pro debut, did so against Tayshawn Archery out of Garland, North Carolina, and Shadid Floyd took very little time, 54 seconds to win his pro debut.
You know, he had an opportunity to just jump on the guy right away and make a statement, and that's what he did. And so, okay, you move on to the next bout after this.
No question about it. And Tayshawn Archery, again, a guy who's been here before, had a tough loss, but Shadid Floyd, we've said all along, Juan, looks like someone that we have to look out for.
Yeah, Shadid Floyd, you definitely have to keep your eye on this kid. He looks like he wants to fight, looks like he's ready to fight, and looks like he's well trained to fight.
Also on the card, as Tayshawn Archery falls to 0-3, Thomas Top Dog Williams out of Fort Washington, Maryland, the son of the contender Thomas Williams Sr., put on a real strong performance in his win over Jess Noriega.
He's got heavy hands and sharp combinations. This kick can go a long way.
Yeah, yes indeed. And Top Dog Williams, again, with his father and his stepfather in the ring with him, should be a good combination.
Yeah, Top Dog looked like he was just too much for this kid for his second fight, I guess it was. Yeah. But he was just too powerful for the guy.
So, as I said, Thomas Williams 8-0, 5 KOs to his credit now. And also in our earlier bout, our first bout of the night, Dylan Heyman, now known as Dylan the Stalker Heyman, came in with one of the best entrances I've seen in quite some time, with the Gregorian chants and the Druid look apparel of him. He is a stalker, and he showed why when he said in our interview, Juan, about his reason for turning pro. We saw that reason because of the stoppage in the way he stalked his opponent.
Yeah, he looks like he was ready to fight, like the interview yesterday. He said he was ready. He said his turning pro would be better than staying amateur, and he proved it today.
No question about it. So Dylan Heyman makes his pro debut, and Jerome, you gotta like the showmanship as well. But a guy, again, 18 years old, 3 guys on the card tonight in their senior year in high school, instead making money for punching for pay.
That interest was impressive, and it almost reminds me of one of those guys. Who was the Undertaker?
Yep, that's what he said. Yep, that's what I said.
But, you know, he had 2 big right uppercuts that he used a lot to fight. and impressive body work throughout the fight as well. And even though it only went, it was short distance, the guy showed a lot in that short distance. He's got a lot to look forward to in his career.
Yep, the bout finished at 203 of the first round, and that pretty much covers the card tonight. Of course, the next card we'll be in will probably be the June 16th card at the Du Burns Arena. That's the Keystone Boxing card coming up, and a lot going on as well. A lot of things outside of boxing that are going on in the next few weeks. We're going to talk about real briefly. First of all, of course, and we hope they have some information on this in the very near future. There'll be a bus trip going to the induction ceremony for one of our legends. That is Mark Too Sharp Johnson, will be inducted into the Hall of Fame on June the 10th. There's a bus trip being organized for that, Jerome. And I tell you, and I covered Mark Too Sharp Johnson's career from the very beginning, Jerome. And this is somebody who was very much a solid person, one of the best fighters in the 1990s, and it's just great to see him get his just due.
Boy, it's hard to believe that we're just about a month away from that historic day, and you're right. We go way back and following that young man's career to all the heights that he was able to attain, and so this is going to be a very special month in June when Mark Too Sharp Johnson goes into the Hall of Fame.
No question about that. And in July, of course, you've got you got back-to-back opportunities for this area to get a heavyweight title. We talked to Tony Thompson. You'll see that interview and hear that interview on Boxing Along The Beltway, as well as ProAmFightTalk.com. But not only does he have an opportunity for a world title, Hasim Rahman has a world title opportunity the very next week in London against Alexander Povetkin. So it'll be interesting to see how that happens.
Yes, even if they have to go overseas to get it, they have to go overseas and get it. It looked like they're ready for it. Especially talking to Tony Thompson, it looked like he wasn't experienced the first time, but he looks like he's ready and in shape and fit, and I guess he'll go to Switzerland and bring it home.
See what happens, definitely. We try to get Dustin Harrison's nearby. We're going to try to get him in just a second. But meanwhile, a couple things we want to talk about. One in particular, this doesn't have to do too many with the Beltway boxing situation, but boxing, we're all kind of in the same boat. And there's a guy who fought here a couple times in this area, out in Glen Burnie and Michael's Eighth Avenue. A guy named Nick Casal. I had the opportunity to talk to him a few years ago when he was just starting out as a pro. Very nice guy out of Buffalo, New York. Had some difficulties early in his career, but now he's facing a real difficulty because earlier this week, Nick Casal, who was scheduled to be on ESPN in the next couple of weeks, was the victim of a severe beating in Buffalo, a mugging, we could say. A number of people jumped him along with his girlfriend. And if you go on FightNews.com or probably any other website, boxing, you'll see some of the injuries that Nick Casal suffered, and it's a miracle that, quite frankly, he is still alive after what we've seen, and we just give our best wishes to him.
Hope for the best. And again, it's a tragic situation. You don't know at times why some of this crazy stuff can happen. You can only hope that he gets a speedy recovery and a safe recovery.
No question about it. He's a real tough guy, real good boxer as well. So hopefully he can get himself together. Before we talk about next thing, let's bring in Dusty Harrison off his big win. I think maybe his best performance as a pro in this situation. Congratulations, good performance tonight.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
You saw it looked like the right hand, even when he was trying to hold you, looked like he was trying desperately to hold on to you, and you just kept pummeling with your right hand, you said.
Yeah, I know. I felt the power when I was catching him, so I knew he was hurt. He had a lot of fights, so he knew he'd hold on when he was hurt. It was a good experience.
Good experience. Is it good experience for you facing these guys that are veterans? Because a lot of people are saying, why is he being pushed so much against his veteran competition? How does it help you as a pro?
It helps me. I mean, I think the best thing that comes out of this is experience. Usually the fighters, I learned something new every fight. I think in the long run, this is the better way for me.
Okay, good enough. Jerome, Fight Dr. Spears.
Well, as your career continues to develop at this stage, are there certain things that you're looking forward to taking to the next level as you go down the road further in your boxing career?
I mean, I just hope to keep showing the same skills, as I step up in opponents. Hopefully I keep doing the same things and learn more with each fight and progress the right way.
No question about it. Dusty Harrison, thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate it. All right, that's Dusty Hernandez Harrison, the Beltway Boricua, raising his record 6-0, 3 KOs. A nice performance tonight. And as we close tonight, let me just say a couple things, and I'm not going to dwell on the Peterson-Khan situation that's been talked about, and you all know my feelings on that. But what I want to talk about real briefly tonight is the evolving of what we're doing here in the Beltway. 6 years ago when I started this blog, Boxing Along the Beltway, one of the reasons why I did it was because I wanted to get to show the viability of covering boxing in the DC area. And I wanted to get other media outlets to be involved with that. Not only the internet media, but also the mainstream media. And I think in 6 years we've done that. We've done that through a lot of ways. The man sitting alongside of me to fight Dr. Jerome Spears, he has been involved with this, and we have been involved with this for more than 20-some years. And we've been through that, and that's been a big help. Also, you look at guys like Michael Amacore, FightKings.com, Alec Kohut of MaxBoxing.com. You talk about Gotham Ganesh of StiffJab.com, Michael Walters of BoxingTalk.com. These are the guys who have been around the area covering the, maybe not to the extent that I have done it, but they've been there. They've been there, and they've helped me considerably in doing what I do. Over the last few weeks, we've been entering into some partnerships with other people who are doing internet media. The fact that you're seeing me right now is the result of Juan Marshall, ProAmFightTalk.com. We are dealing with a partnership there. We're also looking at FNPBoxing.com out of Baltimore, also Roundabout.com I should say. All these guys have offered their assistance with me. Without any pay. It's not about pay, it's not about competition, not about anything along those lines. It's about making sure that everything that gets covered, that goes along in the boxing scene in the Washington, D.C., Baltimore, and Virginia area gets covered. And we're doing our best both on the pro and amateur side to do exactly that, folks. So you're going to see some alterations. I won't say changes, I think change is too strong a word, but alterations in what we're doing. You've seen them already with some of the video we've had. And I thank everybody who's been around me, who has been helping out with this situation. I thank them so much. And I thank you, the fans, because you have helped along those lines, some of the commentation, some of the issues that you've gone through. And again, if anybody thought I was upset about what was going on with the Peterson-Kahn situation, believe me, that wasn't my intent, and I do apologize, and it seemed that way. But I want to tell you this much, that we are looking at covering the entire area and making sure the gentlemen and ladies who are involved in this area get covered. So that's what we're all about. I just want you to be aware of future changes and future alterations, I should say, coming up in the very near future. But for now, that'll do it here from the Washington Convention Center here in Washington, D.C. Remember, the Boxing Along the Beltway post-fight wrap-up show is indeed brought to you in part by UndisputedBrand.com. Visit UndisputedBrand.com for the finest in boxing and mixed martial arts apparel. Undisputed Brand, the brand true champions wear. And by JM Photography, where your home is your studio. JM Photography at Yahoo, 26 at Yahoo.com. For the fight Dr. Jerome Spears and Juan Marshall, ProAmFightTalk.com, I'm Gary Digital Williams saying so long from the Walt T. Washington Convention Center in Northwest Washington. And always remember to keep supporting the best boxing in the world, the boxing along the Beltway. Take care.